Welcome back. My next guest is an attorney and communications expert. She's the host of Eye on New York and the author of Instant Persuasion, How to Change Your Words to Change Your Life. She hit the streets to find out some of your thoughts on finding opportunities. Please welcome back Laurie Puhn. And welcome back, Laurie Puhn. It's so good to have you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, so what was it like hanging out in the streets of New York City talking to people about opportunity?
Well, I'll tell you what, you will find out some of the most shocking things if you just ask a New Yorker a question.
They open up, don't they?
They'll tell you anything.
Well, let's take a look.
Let me ask you, has there ever been an opportunity in your life that you didn't take and you now kind of regret it?
Probably several of them, but I think I've taken advantage of a lot of them that have come along.
So tell me about the greatest one you did take advantage of.
Redefining my life.
And what did that mean for you?
My husband died, and I didn't know what to do, so I decided it was time to redefine me, and I did, and it turned out really well.
My greatest opportunity was having children. It gave me the opportunity to see my life through a child's eyes, and open my heart to a lot of love.
Okay, so let me ask you, if opportunity were to knock on your door right now, what would you want it to say?
I'd like to find some avenue for us all to put some of the anxiety and frustration and anger aside. That's what I'd like.
So let me ask you, if opportunity knocked on your door, what would you want it to say?
We actually tried 3 years to get pregnant, and there was a lot of stress and turmoil in there, and we couldn't get pregnant naturally. So we had to Cleveland Clinic. We had to go to the Cleveland Clinic, get pregnant. We had to go through in vitro fertilization, and finally we had twins, and it was wonderful.
Do you think you're too old for new opportunities?
Maybe. Perhaps. Yeah, I'm done. I'm just sitting in the park, staring at the sky.
You're making me sad.
You did have fun out there.
I sure did.
Yeah.
I sure did. And the people talking to me had a good time as well.
The first woman you spoke with, Carol, talked about finding the opportunity to redefine her life after her husband's death. That happens a lot in our lives, right? We have to redefine our lives many times.
Well, it's guaranteed that life is going to change. But the really important question is to know when and how do we redefine our lives?
Good questions.
Yeah. So there are two ways to know it's time. And the first way is if we have empty time in our lives, meaning children leave the home, have an empty nest, somebody dies, you're fired. These are all things where suddenly you actually have literally time in your day you used to devote to something else. And if we don't recognize that and fill it with something positive, that time can become poisonous, where it's time we dwell on what used to be. So number one, empty time. And number two, if you're doing the same things you always did, but now you're not happy, that's a sign that circumstances change and you didn't.
And that happens, right? Circumstances do change.
It always, so if we're unhappy, it's often because we're doing what we used to do and something changed and it doesn't make us happy anymore.
Then you spoke with the mom who said her biggest or greatest opportunity was having her first child or having children.
Yep. Yeah, she is proof that opportunity is all about perspective, because how many millions of people have children? And if I were to ask them, what's your greatest opportunity? They probably would not mention their children.
That wouldn't be on the list, or
No.
they wouldn't think of it first.
And I remember back right after 9/11, there was a news story about a woman, and she was saying that 9/11 was going to be the greatest day of her life. And I thought to myself, I mean, she must have been getting married or something. And she said that morning, I was on my way to the immigration office to get my green card. And for her, becoming a U.S. citizen was the greatest opportunity of her life. And I thought,
wow,
I'm a U.S. citizen, and I never realized what opportunity I already have in my life. It's about perspective.
And then the next man that we saw said he wanted to put anger and frustration aside. That was something that he was looking to do in the world, an opportunity.
Oh, yes. Well, feeling angry is often a sign that we are stuck in the past and we're dwelling on what we wish had happened, right? If we think about our anger, we're usually like, I can't believe he did that, right? How could that happen? It's about the past. And so filling up that empty time with something positive is what can carry us through to the future.
And then you had the couple who really
Oh, they told us
revealed a
everything.
lot on New York City streets.
I don't know if I wanted to know all that.
TMI, too much information. But they talked about their infertility issues.
Yes, and one of the things she told me after the cameras were off was that when they were having problems, they got hope by planning small trips, by planning things so she could look to the future for something other than children. And that's a real technique that optimistic people can do, is to create something new to hope for.
And then you spoke with the guy who felt that he was too old to have to experience any new opportunities.
Oh, poor him.
He was a cutie.
You know what, though? That attitude is the same guy who at the age of 20 is sitting there saying, I'm too young to do anything important.
Oh, so you think this has been going on for a long time?
Oh, yeah. It's because it's a state of mind. If you can think, you can create, and you can have opportunity. That doesn't end as we get older.
Yeah. Well, Laurie, thank you so much for coming in, and it looked like you had a lot of fun out there in the New York City streets.
I sure did.
We'll have you come back and do something else.
I know.
Go somewhere else next time.
I'd love to.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and for everyone listening, ask yourself, what's your greatest opportunity? And ask your family at the dinner table. You'll be as shocked as I was by the answers.
Good question. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.